there, Bennett here with an early August update on my hydroponic garden for 2024. So things are getting real interesting here. So the early harvest lettuce that I planted, as you can see, it's got flowers up here. So that's what's called bolting. So once it bolts, pretty much it's bitter. The leaves will be bitter. So we're sort of done with all the lettuce. So this one is bolted as well. This one I tied down, but now it's falling. And so they're all bolted. So now the question is, do I put them in compost? What do I do with them? So, because we have a compost bin, but we do not have like a huge compost pile. So I don't know if I want to start one. Oh, I nailed the mosquito while recording a video. Anyway, the compost pile is something I don't know if I want to start. But anyway, here's the Brussels sprouts, and Brussels sprouts are kind of slowly but surely coming in, like this one here. Look at that one. That one's probably almost an acorn or a grape. You know, they're bigger than peas, and they're sort of getting there. I have had trouble with caterpillars all summer. So you could see most recently all of these got eaten. But the good news with Brussels sprouts is that it's the sprouts that I care about, those little guys in between. So I sprayed them with a combination of some kind of neem oil and also just an organic pesticide, and it seems to have helped. So the couple Brussels up here are not really doing much. These are little baby guys. These are still pea size. But as you go down, this one also kind of pea sized. Ooh, we're gonna get a thunderstorm. I better do it quick here. These are a little bigger as we go lower. So the lower ones are the bigger ones. But basically when I saw they got eaten and I saw a lot of caterpillars, first I sprayed them with the neem oil, as I mentioned, and then I just hosed them down to get all the dead larvae and poop, whatever's there. Who knows? So I mentioned in an earlier video, I'll look back. If I haven't, I will post along with this video. I harvested some broccoli. So I cut that huge stalk off. We had a nice head of broccoli. Wasn't huge. It tasted really good, but it was really small. So it wasn't that great, but it tasted awesome. So that one I cut off, and I'm just gonna see if any other broccoli grows. But in the meantime, this broccoli has started growing ahead. So that's good. And those are the two, I thought I had three. No, yeah, those are the two that I got from the Levo International. And these ones that haven't started taking flower yet are the ones that I planted from seed, which at one point they were really pretty much dying, and they came back strong and are really surviving. But I think I didn't thin them out early enough, so I think the fact that there's like 3 different stalks in there, it needs to be like one big stalk. So I'd be surprised if these 3 broccoli plants come to fruition there. Now we've got our maters. These are doing great. I picked one the other day, and you can see that the tomatoes are starting to do well. They're really big. So these are all like Roma tomatoes. They've started. These have started, and it's really starting to get bushy up here. So it is getting a little overgrown, but I've got a bunch back there. I do have one that has some kind of, can I focus on that? Some kind of bad spot on it. I'm just gonna leave it, but it almost looks like like a mushed grape or something. So yeah, tomatoes are getting a little unwieldy, but they're all over the place. And as you can see, my idea worked pretty well. So my idea was always to have them grow on the opposite side of the trellis and come over and hang on the back side, and they're doing great. This one's hanging. Let's see if I can back up a little bit. This one's coming over the top, and there's some fruit there, hiding back there and there. Now this side doesn't get a lot of sun, so as I go around and show you just all the tomatoes that are everywhere, there's probably like 12, 14 bunches here. There are some beefsteak ones that are quite big. Oh, you know what? I was about to speak too soon. So these have been coming in for a while. These are huge, plump beefsteak. And I was a little worried 24 hours ago that they weren't going to get red because they were not on the sun side. So as I was just explaining, I was worried that the stuff on the non-sunny side was getting red, and then in the last 24 hours this one got orange. So I'm going to leave that alone, and it looks like I'm going to have a couple beefsteaks. So I'm just going to be patient, but I'd say about 20% of the tomatoes are starting to turn red. So really happy with that. Now to the cucumbers, I should have counted, but I probably got about 12 huge cucumbers, and it's finally kind of bare. So even though I'm on the back side here, really on the front side, there's not much going on either. So I probably harvested, and I'll put up some pictures, about a dozen or even more, like 12 to 14 inch cucumbers that tasted awesome. So I was totally happy with that. And then for a few weeks, since mid-July, nothing new has been growing. And what I've been reading is that when it's really, really hot, and it's, late July, early August in Connecticut, cucumbers don't do well. So it's been super hot and nothing's started in about a month. But look, I've got some right here. Let me make sure I'm getting it. There's one right there and there. So it looks like, this is exciting. Oh yeah, there's a bunch. So it looks like the cukes are gonna kind of reborn. So cukes are doing well. They also have the idea of starting on the other side and coming over to this side. And you can see they're so long, they're overtaking the edamame plants, which got eaten by a rabbit. So those are kind of just remnants. So the edamame plants didn't do well. I don't know how the rabbit got in. I must have left it open one day, because this thing is like Fort Knox for rabbits. But for some reason they got eaten. Anyway, cukes are just sort of taking over, which is fine. And then we go to, last but not least, our peppers. So peppers are actually fruiting very nicely. Now I'm still on the back here, so I'll start in the back and go front. So you got 3 or 4 there. You got one pretty nice one there. Now here's the trick. In the past, look at that, 4, like kind of leaning over. So the biggest thing I've struggled with in the past is that I want them to turn red or orange as they're indicated on the seeds. But in the past, they've always gotten eaten by worms or bugs or something, and they just never got red before they were eaten or were rotted. So that's the big thing I'm looking for this year is, are my bell peppers going to survive long enough to turn red? I'm really hoping, and as you can see, they're tilting over. So what I will need to do finally with these will be the last ones that I'll have to secure somehow with twine, as I did the broccoli. So I did a bunch of this stuff already in previous videos. I did the twine for the tomatoes. And so I'm gonna have to start, you can see they're falling over. So I'm gonna definitely need to prop those up. So I'll do that after this video. But that's good. That's a pretty good early August overview of the garden. I'm experimenting the entire 2024 year with this homemade hydroponic trellis, and that's the latest update. It's going pretty good, and I'll see you next time with an update on Black Thumb Green Hydroponics.